Okay, now can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Sweet. Okay, sorry. I did start a little early just because I wanted to make sure I didn't have major technical issues. Is the music too loud, too soft, totally annoying? My neighbors have a tendency to play very loud video games, I think. I only think it's video games because it's repetitive. No worries. Drive safe, George. You should have the playlist pinned at the top when you get a safe spot, and you can get into that. That'll take you through the lineup for tonight. Okay, good deal. That should be plenty to get it out of any copyright issues. Oh, it has been so long since I have done this. So I was gonna say, for anyone that happens to be a new person around here or coming in to the replay afterwards, if I say so what? That it's been a while? It's been over a year. Anyways, for anybody that is new or is coming into this after the fact, this is a kickoff live stream for the Saturday Stroll. It is a series of back-to-back premieres. We do one on Friday called the Raid Parade, and we do one on Saturday called the Saturday Stroll. Main sort of unifying theme is that it's travel related. Not necessarily the videos, but the channels. So it might be how somebody's getting ready for a trip, or, you know, driving to the airport, or hopefully not jumping off a cruise ship. But just sort of all over. It doesn't have to be any particular type of travel. That just seems to be the unifying theme, is that the channels typically are into travel. So, tonight we are going to be hitting 3 different places. We are starting with Pedroza Travels, and he is talking about budget travel and exploring the Palenque Mayan ruins. I think that's it. Then we have Eddie Lugo Studios with his booze cruise continues. This was a group cruise at the end of October, so more ghostly booze rather than drinking booze, with Cozumel Knot. So we'll have to figure out what that is, because I'm like seriously curious if that means you're just like not getting off at the port, or what the deal is there. And then we have Mexico Living the Dream with ATV Tours of Cozumel. So at least somebody is going to Cozumel, even if Eddie's not. And then that will be the end of our premieres tonight, although Travel Adventures with Eric B is hopefully going to have the third part of his year in review out tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, I think. He might mean 10 p.m. Central, which would be 11 p.m. Eastern. So I'm not sure on that one. And then I also saw JNN Travels is releasing one at 9 p.m. I believe they are also actually traveling tonight. So that is our lineup. And I will try and get you guys dropped into those later, if I can. Although, if I'm on the live, then you get... You guys will already be in the doohickey. So I guess it doesn't matter. You can go track them down. They are regulars around here. So what are you guys doing for the New Year's stuff tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? It is tomorrow already, isn't it? A clearance? You're marking it down? Getting it out the door? A clearance of 2023. Okay, interesting. Well, I suppose that is kind of what retailers are doing. I was in a store the other day and actually noticed they had Valentine's Day dresses out. And I'm like, okay, that just seems a little weird next to the Christmas sweaters. Hey, Lucretia, how are you doing tonight? I don't know what face blue smiling means. Eddie, I totally get that. I don't know. It seemed like, I guess most of my life has not been. I spent the most time in HR, but I don't know. I seem to resonate the most with retail and service. Potato salad. Well, that sounds yummy. A blue screaming hello, y'all. Interesting. Oh my. Hello. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, I actually have a few potatoes left. We've done scalloped potatoes twice in the last week. Although we didn't actually get to eat the first ones because they kind of got flipped upside down on the bottom of the oven. Lovely mixing of English and Spanish there, Eddie. Well, egg salad's pretty easy. I say that. I don't know how most people cook their eggs. For me, it's like just an easy 4 minutes in the Instant Pot. They peel real easy. Okay, Mexico living the dream. Is it Robin and Martin? Or is it always one or the other of you that is in chats? Or how does that work with you guys? Okay, Eddie, I think you're saying, what are you saying? And then saying good evening. Okay. Hi, Marty. While you're just listening, you can join George. He's driving, though. And hi, Robin. And I was going to say, in case you're unaware, which you probably aren't, because we've just met, I took 4 years of French in high school, 3 years of Spanish, and 2 years of Spanish in college, and none of it really stuck. I was still using French to put sentences together. I do not speak Italiano. I can probably pick some up just because of the French and the Spanish. I'm currently working on French again. I love language. Absolutely love language. Actually, I love culture too. I was an anthropology major. And I'm wanting to answer you with the nada, Eddie. Anywho, all right, so for those that are just coming in, the lineup for tonight is Pedroza Travels. He's doing budget travel, exploring the Palenque Mayan ruins in Mexico. Eddie, actually, Cozumel's in Mexico, isn't it? So Eddie has the booze cruise continues, Cozumel not. So I don't know, maybe he stays out on the water. Otherwise, we might get to see Cozumel. But we definitely get to see Cozumel because Mexico Living the Dream is also doing Cozumel. They are going on an ATV tour, discussing things to do in Cozumel, a day trip, cruise excursions, and the Cozumel, Mexico, Pueblo, Magicos? Mexicos? So, that is the lineup. I feel very weird not being in a normal chat. So Eddie is doing... Oh, yum. It is Mexico Day, apparently. Which I bet it's nice and warm down there. We're expecting snow tomorrow. And I got a message from my daughter before we started saying, can you find out if the errands you need to run are open tomorrow? Like, I don't want to go out in the snow. So do you guys set like resolutions or do words of the year, or do you guys do any of that fun stuff? Other than marking 2023 as a clearance item. We know Eddie does that. Yes, snow. Got everything yesterday, not going anywhere tomorrow. Yeah, I don't actually need to get anything. I need to return stuff to Lowe's and the UPS store for Amazon. I ordered like a kitchen timer, and it took 48 hours to go 45 minutes somehow. It's like, this is not helpful. Which is fine. I mean, I'm not huge on... I normally like go to town twice a month type of thing. And I'm going to be in towns, I think, 3 times in the next 2 weeks. Which is a lot of peopling for me. One of those, I definitely avoid towns. I definitely avoid towns on holidays, typically. And definitely nothing in the evenings if it's like a drinking type holiday. You do general resolutions, okay? I do words of the year. So like my word for, well, I guess technically it's words, it's 2 words. For 2023 has been habitual progress. But I thought no snow was a good thing, Eddie. That way you don't have to shovel. And then my word for 2024 is going to be empower. You check retrospective progress? Like you look at the general resolutions you made for last year and kind of see how you did? Ah, yes. My daughter she's been having problems for probably 6 months or a year. Like every time it rains or it's gonna snow, her knees are bugging her. And she finally started just like a low dose that's just over 100% daily value on B vitamins for something else um, a month or so ago. I guess it might be almost 2 months now. And that's really helped with her knees. Yeah, I always wind up really sort of looking at where I'm at and sort of taking inventory the week between Christmas and New Year's. Just as a like, okay, where am I at and where do I want to go? And although I kind of started early this year, I have a spreadsheet and I was like, okay, well, what can I go ahead and transfer? Because this thing's like 7 or 8 tabs worth. And so I'm about a month ago, I started transferring over all my garden stuff and like organizing it how I want to for next year. I'm working on like a seed order and garden layout and all that. Which I was going to say, I've got probably a good 3 or 4 months until I can plant like the frost hardy stuff. But I'm hoping to get like peas out this year and stuff like that I don't normally do. I totally get that, Lucretia. It strikes me as odd sometimes that the amount of people I see, like they've got these great big goals and then they like never seem to go anywhere, but it's like they never break them down into like, okay, well, what's a little step I can actually accomplish in one day or whatever. That's the name of a book. I have a spreadsheet. That's not a book that I've looked at, but it would probably be right up my alley. I have spreadsheets for lots of things. And Eddie, I don't want to think about that. I know that Dad said I felt like I was 60 when I was 16 because he was 60 and I was on the same dosage of arthritis medication he was. See, my problem is like, even if I break stuff up, I wind up losing interest in my goals. Or like something happens and I can't keep going on it right then, so then I like completely forget about it. Welcome back, George. So I don't know if you can see the screen or if you're still driving. Don't look at the screen if you're driving. But the Saturday Stroll lineup for today is Pedroza Travels. He is taking us on some budget travel to some more Mayan ruins. Eddie Lugo Studios is on the booze cruise, Cozumel not. And then Mexico Living the Dream is also in Cozumel doing an ATV tour. And discussing shore excursions and a couple of other things. So that is the lineup for tonight. And also, since you said you lost signal, if you didn't hear it earlier, I believe J&N Travels, well, they are traveling, but they've got something scheduled for 9 p.m. tonight Eastern. And then Eric, fingers crossed, will have the third installment of his year in review travel series out tonight. He said 10 p.m., but I think that's 11 p.m. Eastern. And hi, Eric. Drive safe if you're still driving. And Eddie, what kind of tacos did you order? Because tacos sound really good. I had a sandwich a while ago. I shouldn't be eating the bread, but it was easy. I've kind of switched over to corn tortillas to replace the bread, but then I need to heat it up so they don't fall apart. Just, I was trying to do too many things on this, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna eat something. Although I have eaten an absolute ton of sugar lately. I still have a bunch of peanut brittle. We're about done with the fudge. Wound up throwing a little bit of cheesecake away. Oh, I made a Kentucky Derby pie. I've been trying to find this, she always called it a Japanese fruit pie. It was like a chess pie matrix with nuts and chocolate chips and some other stuff in it. The Kentucky Derby pie has the chess pie matrix and the chocolate chips and the nuts, but that's it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with that some this year. Well, not this year. In 2024, I'll be playing with that, trying to see if I can figure out what else she put in it. Because, you know, you gotta recreate pies that you haven't had in 20 years. It's actually probably closer to 25. I was gonna say, and I am showing 6:51. I was gonna set an alarm, so I made sure to get off here at the right time, and then I forgot to do it. So if you should happen to see me like going over, say something, please. And I guess I could also, I'm not used to be like, do you guys like the half-hour live streams? Or would you prefer more hour-long live streams? I'm definitely going to have to come up with more like topics to talk about and things if I do hour-long live streams. Because, yeah. That'll just be a thing. But and Eddie, I know you said it's like riding a bike, but I don't think you're ever off of a live stream long enough to like forget how to do things. I'm just saying. Well, John was liking the half hour. I don't really care one way or the other. I believe Paul had asked about a half an hour when he was helping out more with them, like back at the beginning of this year. So for me, the more stressful thing is actually being on screen. And I seem to be doing okay tonight. Probably the most stressful thing is I'm actually sitting on the floor, and my legs aren't exactly happy about that. Not that that's probably a bad thing, I just need to be on the floor more. Because I've been having a lot of problems with my SI and hip lately. So did anybody do anything fun for Christmas that they want to talk about? We went down to my brother's. Was it Tuesday? It's Boxing Day. I don't know. On Christmas Eve, we bake. That's the day I've got the kids. So we made I guess we don't specifically bake, we make things. We made banana pudding and green bean casserole, and that was the first round of scalloped potatoes, and cookies and fudge, and the oldest made cheesecake. I made pie. We were gonna make Rice Krispie treats and never got around to it. Oh, hopefully they get better soon, Eddie. We'll be sending healing energy their way. My brother has one kid who I believe is 5. And then my kids are home, but my youngest will be 18 in April. So it's not really like there's kids, even though there's kids. You know what I mean? Tarot. Ooh. Wow, are you really scheduled out that far? Talk about some YouTube goals. That would be awesome. For me, I haven't shot. I guess I did. I've got one that I keep forgetting to upload of a Vitacost haul, but I haven't. Normally, I'm shooting Tiny Tidy Tuesdays on Monday, maybe. I've done a few on Tuesday. Those are typically late, but it is what it is. Hey, sometimes being the director is not a bad thing. That's why my kids know how to cook. When they were younger, 8, 9, 10 time frame, I was having dizzy spells so bad that I'd get supper started and have to go lay down, and then I was just the director and they'd finish up whatever needed to be finished so we could eat. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you had 8 other people around. Okay, so let's go over the list one more time. We've got Pedroza Travels, doing budget travel, exploring the Palenque Mayan ruins. Can somebody please tell me if I'm completely butchering that name? And then we have Eddie Lugo Studios with Booze Cruise Continues, Cozumel Not, getting us down there to Cozumel. And then Mexico Living the Dream is taking over and taking us on an ATV tour, things to do in Cozumel, day trip and cruise excursion, and Pueblo Magicos. Mágicos? Hey John, did you ever get car stuff fixed? Hopefully you are doing okay and had a good day at the mine. Okay, and then Lucretia's giving us her potato salad recipe. No mayo? Just because you don't have it, or because... I should know that's when grapevines start growing leaves. I've got one that likes to take over part of my yard. They don't make grapes, they just grow and grow and grow. Right now they're growing up in a tree. That's okay. I need to trim the branches that they're attached to, and I figured I could use them to direct where they fall so they don't hurt my shed. Okay, it is 6:59. So if you haven't yet, you should be able to see the link in chat. Otherwise, I will try and drop it again. Well, that'll still get you to the playlist. It's not the right link. Well, hopefully you find the right things to cut out, Lucretia. So many things react food-wise. Totally understand that. I was actually thinking the same thing about the balsamic because that's very high histamine. So anyways, it is 7. I am going to end this live stream, and I will see you guys over at Pedroza Travels. Have a great week and a happy new year if I don't see you before then.